What's going on, everybody? Landon here with Home Service Business Coach, and to my right, or maybe your left, however it looks on the camera, we got Revive's rockstar office manager, Katrina, with us, and I wanted to pick her brain a little bit on what it's like, because you guys see Dave and kind of Home Service Business Coach online. Want to pick your brain and see what it's like working with Dave, but take us back to your experience with Revive. Like, how's it been? What's kind of a day-to-day role look like? What are some of your responsibilities?
Sure. I've been with Revive since 2001. Daily, I'm kind of a service manager, so I'm a little bit of a jack of all trades. Daily, I'm dealing with clients, calls and emails. I am preparing quotes. I am doing assessments, kind of everything. I'm not production, so I'm not out there doing the jobs, but kind of pretty much everything else I kind of have a hand on in Revive for sure.
That's awesome. For those watching, we're at our summit, so that's why you're seeing a hotel room in Vancouver here. And you were mentioning yesterday on your call something that pulled you to Revive, and you were kind of describing your current situation and what really stood out to you with Revive in the job ad, because I think a lot of people struggle with that. They struggle with finding people like yourself, just people that are bought into the vision and where you're going. So yeah, what stood out?
Yeah, I mean, I was looking for another job, but I wasn't like desperately. I had employment. I was looking for a better opportunity. I was looking somewhere where my skills could be utilized. I came across the ad from Dave, and I looked at the Google reviews. I was like, oh, there's something to this. And after speaking with Dave, he's a man you want to hitch your wagon to. Honestly, like, I love how he leads. I love how he takes ownership for his mistakes. He's always looking for ways to improve. And I love that about him. And so, like, I think we're really complementary in that. So my ideas are being utilized within the company, and they're making a financial impact. And that's huge. Like, that makes me feel bought in. That makes me feel like it is part of my company.
Yeah, absolutely. And what's a favorite aspect about working for Revive? Maybe it's, customer relations. Maybe it is working with, for those that don't know, Steve is Revive's production manager, and you guys have had a good relationship. Yeah. Obviously, hiccups that work relationships are going to have. But what's like your favorite part about being with Revive and maybe your role on a day to day?
Yeah, I mean, like Steve, he's like my brother. Like, you love each other, you hate each other. You're like, why'd you do this? What's happening? But that's what it is. And I think we get along well. And I think we work together well. And then when you got Dave and that kind of, the three of us, I think we really work well together. We really have kind of the same end goal, which I think is important. Success for our company. We don't want to look bad. We want to do the best job we can. We want to offer amazing service. So, but to speak to like my favorite part of Revive, I think it's connecting with customers. I love to go out. I don't like to think of myself as a salesperson.
Yeah.
But I think I am. And maybe it's like, I don't want the negative connotation of being a salesperson, but like, I love to connect with people about anything. I will talk about anything. Let's go. Let's talk about, we'll make a connection. And then they're going to know that's someone I can reach out to and talk to in the future. They've got a good feeling surrounding me. Yeah,
absolutely. And I would say that's one of your zones of genius. And you guys will hear this, and gals listening, you'll hear this from, all over social media. Find your zone of genius, kind of, okay, if you're really good at talking with clients, okay, but maybe there's somebody that could be a better technician than you, right? So it's like, okay, let's fill that role, right? And then it's kind of that gradual working up, and it's really finding people that are much better than you as the owner, right? Because if you're a jack of all trades, you've heard us say this, you can't be a master of one certain thing. And then as the CEO of your company, your whole goal, as my mentor would say, is to grow your business. And most of you are bottlenecking your business, and you're not able to then find rock stars like Katrina because you haven't even allowed them to take over your role. Because I'm sorry, Katrina, you could probably attest to this too. There's people that are much better at the things you're currently doing, yet you're the one. And you saw this entire weekend's mindset shifts of like, I really do need to hire. I really do need to get out of my own way. And that's been something that's been obviously huge. So
I think it's a hard thing for a lot of business owners too, because you've started that business, you own that business. It's hard for you to give up control. But I think the freedom that comes with that, once you realize I'm good at this, but I'm not the best. Someone else can do it, or someone can do it just as well as I can, and maybe they'll be better than me at some point.
Yep.
Like, release that. There's freedom. You can take your time and put it elsewhere where your zone of genius is.
Totally.
Sure.
Totally. And you were mentioning, you're heard. Dave, the guy you want to hitch your wagon to, and you heard. Can you give us an example of maybe one thing that you were like, I noticed we could do this a bit better, and then it was actually taken into account? Do you have an example for us?
We were getting some tickets for signs locally, Christmas light signs. And so I had thought, why don't we make a sign that's maybe a little less smaller that maybe clients will want to keep in their yard? So I suggested that for Christmas lights, we come up with different shapes. So the shape of a Christmas bulb or a gingerbread house or a snowflake or something. We can still have our information. We can advertise it within the client's property, small area that they're not going to want to take it down because it's like a Christmas decoration.
Yeah.
And it adds value, and we have implemented it, and I think it's worked really well. We haven't got any tickets for those signs, and we're still advertised.
Absolutely. And again, I think that's just like a great analogy. Is like, find what is working, and the only way you're going to, because again, we get so focused in on our lane and what we're doing, and I got to do this, got to do that. It's having that fresh set of eyes and that team around you to where, again, ideas can bounce off of, right? That is, again, the power that comes with getting outside of yourself, removing yourself from the quote unquote day in and day out business thing. So,
and it's not always about the skills that the person has.
Yeah.
Skills can be learned. Really, skills can be learned. It's about how that person approaches problems, how they speak to other people, how you make other people feel.
Yeah, totally. Take us into what the heck is it like to work with this Dave guy? Because again, Katrina just found out Dave has a podcast, and I think, okay, we have like 300 episodes out. So maybe that's something that it's like, man, the guy needs to share more, or like, what is something that you love about Dave, and that's, again, why you're hitching your wagon to our live?
Well, I mean, I think I knew he had a podcast, but I didn't realize like how well he was doing. And just last night I was like, oh, really? I'm going to look and maybe listen to it. Dave, I love how I work with Dave. I am not afraid to tell him things to like, Dave, you need to stop doing this. We're getting this from the city or whatever. I don't know. I just feel respected. I feel heard. I feel understood. I had a little bit of a freak out last year. I wasn't very nice. I said some mean things.
Yeah.
Dave was like, you know what? That's not okay. And I was like, I know it's not okay because I told you it wasn't okay the second I said it. But like that understanding, that forgiveness, that acceptance, it's like a family. Like, I know I can make mistakes and it's okay. We move on, we move forward and change direction. So I feel comfortable sharing my opinions, which I think is freeing for so many people, especially employees. Like, you're scared of saying what you want to say for fear of getting in trouble. I don't feel that from Dave. I feel like he would take it and be like, how can we make it better? Because that's the kind of guy that Dave is. How can we make your life better? And like, I was talking to Doug this morning and I said, I think the success for me is after a year and a half of working at Revive, I called Dave and I said, today's the first day I want to quit. And it was a year and a half after working at Revive. So for me, like, a win. That is success. I don't care who that's success. The first day in a year and a half, I wanted to quit.
And again, everybody listens like, I'm going to quit every single day. So I get your drift, right? Yeah. And it all starts from you're struggling to maintain and retain employees and find people like that, right? And again, what you said there is that I can have a freak out or like whatever it is. At the end of the day, it's Dave's company. It's Dave's responsibility. Maybe there was something, and I'm sure that there was, that whatever happened, and then there was resolution, of course, right? But again, it's change your behavior on both sides of things. But I guarantee now it's even much better because it's like you hit another level of depth, right?
And understanding and respect and learning and growth.
Yep,
I mean, there's no growth without conflict.
No, 100%, 100%. What's been your biggest takeaway? You spoke last year at last year's summit. You spoke again this year. And it was funny watching Katrina. This is no new news, but she had like a group of guys following around asking her questions, about the office and stuff, right? Nothing new in Katrina's world. But What has been your biggest takeaway seeing everybody, seeing the camaraderie, seeing the conversations? What's been your biggest takeaway with the summer?
I really think the in-person connections are where it's at. I know that there's so much value online that everyone meets. I get that value. I think it kind of gets solidified when people are face-to-face and you're spitballing those ideas. It just kind of, it gets everybody jazzed up. I think that like everyone's excited for what's coming next. And seeing successful people makes you want to be successful. You surround yourself with those people. And honestly, I think that's kind of the biggest benefit is just the in-person connections you can. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's super, like I was talking on sales, 2 days ago now, I think.
Yeah.
Wow, well, the weekend's flown by. And it was super interesting because, again, I had spoken with everybody, and I'm sure listening, some of you, if not half of you, have had a conversation with me too. And it was kind of like that surreal moment and brought my conviction up. I was like, I met you I on the phone, right, through the virtual world, through the medium you're listening to. And then again, some guys I met previously, some guys I had met for the first time. And it's like, oh, we're making a difference.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, you get more solidified in the actual thing that you're doing.
Yeah.
So again, there can be a disconnect, like you mentioned. You're speaking with clients on the phone. When you go out and actually like do an in-person quote or whatever that is, there's like,
it's a different level.
It's a whole different level. So any parting wisdom you want to leave with the people listening? Maybe it's here's a tip on customer service on a CSR. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's a phone conversation. Maybe it's a past experience or a quote. Anything else you want to leave?
Treat people like they're your friend. If they call you and they've got a problem, how would you handle that if that was your friend or your aunt or your grandma? Treat people with that respect. They're looking for a service. They might not be so nice to you, but treat them with respect. Treat them like your family, and it'll go a long way, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Well, Katrina, I appreciate that. Hopefully everybody listening, you're able to get in the mind of what a literal rock star office person should be. Mm-hmm. And maybe the bar you've set as well, too. And also as well, is it all what I've seen about Dave and Revive and all these different things? So hopefully we're able to get you some clarity more on the mind of a rock star manager. And what's going on in your mind? What are some things you're listening and wanting from working at a company? You want somebody that you can hitch your wagon to. You want somebody where you can be heard. You want somebody that, look, as much as I'm being loyal to the company, from the owner, that it's a give and take. I would love that loyalty back. And maybe that's for some of you, the shift that needs to happen. Stop looking at people as helpers or a person I hire or a VA, but look at them as an actual team, treat them like a friend, and eventually it'll turn into this family culture where it becomes infectious with those around you. So if you found value in this, if you want the opportunity to speak with Katrina, do not call Revive's office. You will find do not call Revive's office, but yeah, she would love.
I totally would.
She's available through our program, right? The 9-month program. Maybe we've spoken to you, maybe we haven't, but there's only one way we're finding out. We're going to find out if we're friends, and we got to figure out if we like each other and if we can help you out. Because really the biggest takeaway for me has just been the camaraderie with everybody, meeting spouses, seeing how not only has this affected obviously the individual that came on board, the business owner, but how has it changed the dynamic of maybe your relationship, your marriage? Has it been for the better?
I've heard that happening throughout from people saying it's changed their lives. It's amazing. I love it. You don't think that that's the trajectory of something, and then you actually see it and you're like, oh, this is good. This is really good. Maybe a little bit.
Maybe a little bit. Absolutely. But the link will be down below to schedule a call with me. You'll speak to me. There's no pressure. We just got to figure out if we're friends and if we can genuinely help you. Because again, with the community that we have, not everybody, we hold a very hard bar, just like Revive does, as not every client, you're not going to work with every single client. Same thing here. So Katrina, very much appreciate it. Give you the handshake there. You are awesome. Everybody continue watching. We got some great content coming out. Take care and talk to you soon.